The full moon on April 23rd brings with it a period where you feel a sense of inner stillness, inner tranquility, especially with everything that has happened throughout this month, from the solar eclipse. Now we're also still in Mercury retrograde. There has been so many shifts are happening, so much growth has been happening. And now with this full moon basically aids as that anchor to help you integrate all the changes, all the growth, all the transformation that you experienced this month. So you will feel a sense of inner stillness that is really washing over you, a sense of inner tranquility where you feel more at ease with all that has unfolded throughout this month. And in this video, I want to share with you the 5 key things that I think you should know about this particular full moon so you can really work the energy in your favor and experience that sense of stillness and tranquility. Because there's a time of integration that is needed after each immense growth period. And this is what this full moon really offers to you to help you integrate all the changes, all the growth, all that you experienced throughout this month. So the first thing that I would like for you to know is that things are now starting to calm down. Now you may have noticed that a lot has happened throughout this month, a lot of shifts, a lot of growth, a lot of transformation. And we had the solar eclipse at the beginning of the month, which was absolutely transformative and powerful. And then we're also still in Mercury retrograde season. So you may have experienced a lot of shifts throughout this month, a lot of growth, a lot of transformation that may have been a little extreme for you. Maybe it was really pushing you and squeezing you, and you maybe have even felt a little overwhelmed by all that has happened. But now with this full moon, you will notice it's starting like a couple of days before the full moon already. You will notice that there's somewhat of a sense of pause, that things are calming down. You feel like that things are starting to calm down or slow down, that you also feel somewhat of a pause in a way as well, where you may then also feel that need to pause. Now, yes, we are still during Mercury retrograde season for just a couple more days. Mercury goes direct again around the 25th or 26th. So we only have a couple more days during Mercury retrograde season. And by the way, if you're not quite sure what this Mercury retrograde season was all about, you can still check out a forecast so you can still make the most out of these last few days of the Mercury retrograde season. The link is in the description below, because the key theme for this Mercury retrograde season was all about going back to the drawing board to really design your life the way you want. And that may also have triggered you. Maybe you noticed a lot of things were kind of falling away, falling into place, and things were shifting and whatnot. So now with this full moon, you're experiencing that sense of pause, that sense of tranquility, that sense of inner stillness, because you're integrating all that has happened, all the changes that occurred throughout this month. So you will feel that sense of pause most likely on or around the full moon. Then the second thing that I want you to know is that you experienced a lot of growth since the lunar eclipse of last month, and now it's all settling in. Like I said, this full moon is all about integrating all that has happened since the last full moon in March, which was also a combination of full moon and a lunar eclipse. So now this full moon on April the 23rd is really helping you anchor it all in, helping you integrate all that has happened since last month. So you will experience less of that pressure cooker kind of feeling, but more so that ease washes over you. It's now all settling in, so you may even notice that you're actually now letting go of that breath that you may have held in. So you may even sigh that, I finally made it, right? This kind of experience is what you will experience throughout this full moon period, a couple of days before, and then, on the full moon as well. And of course, also a couple of days later. So you have a few days where you really feel that experience of really just letting go of that breath, really just releasing it, because you're integrating all that has happened since the last full moon lunar eclipse bundle last month in March. So it's all settling in now with this full moon. So you're noticing then also that you're feeling more at ease, because you may have felt quite under pressure over these last couple of weeks. I know for myself, I felt there were times when I really felt like a pressure cooker that was about to blow, right? So there was a lot really pushing at me, and with everything that was unfolding in my life as well. So you may have noticed that as well, but just be aware that this is now also easing up. You will feel that ease really washing over you. But here the important thing is you want to really take that time out to really integrate. Because if you keep moving forward, you keep pushing, especially like we are still Mercury retrograde season where you're supposed to take things a little slower and go at a slower pace. And if you didn't really do that, you may have felt quite overwhelmed. So here, the important thing is now is with this full moon is to take that time out to really let it integrate, let it settle in, because you need to let it settle in. If you don't, it's only going to cause more pressure, more tension within you, because you haven't really integrated all the change, all the growth, all the transformation that you experienced since the lunar eclipse last month. Then the third thing I would like for you to know is that there's now also a more relaxed way of going about life that is now unfolding for you, that is now available for you, where you no longer have to push and grind and make things happen and work really hard or whatnot, or where you also no longer feel that push to create, to do, to move forward and things like that. Now it's really more so ease washes over you. So this will then bring that long-awaited break. Maybe you have waited for somewhat of an easing up of that tension, because this year has been a very physical, intense year. Last year was more so internally, spiritually, emotionally, and energetically, but this year is a very, very much of a physical, intense year, where a lot of things are shifting and happening in the physical. Yes, of course, you're also growing within, but I have really found that this year it's really more so in the physical that a lot is shifting, a lot is changing, a lot is falling away. So you may have noticed that too. But just know now things are really easing up more. You will go about life in a more relaxed way. So this may actually be that break that you have been really looking for, that easing up that you have been looking for. Maybe things have been quite intense for you. So now with this full moon, you will notice that easing up, where you can go about life in a more relaxed way. Which brings me to the fourth piece here is that I want you to know is that things are now also falling into place with more ease. Where previously maybe you have had to work really hard to make it happen, to go about things or whatnot. Now there's really that ease washing over you. So things are falling into place. Sometimes even easier than you ever expected. It may even surprise you of how easy things are now falling into place. So this is a beautiful thing, because you no longer have to work so hard to make things happen. Now, if you remember the beginning of the month in that April forecast, I actually talked a little bit more about the angels are near this month. We're receiving the support, we're receiving the help to learn how to really go about life in a co-creative way, to co-create with the angels, with our team of guides, with source, with people in our life, to really go about life, not you doing everything on your own and having to basically carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, but really go about life in a co-creative way, because then things become easier as well. And this is now what is also unfolding with this full moon as well. Things are becoming easier. You will go about life with more ease. Things are starting to fall in place, because you've done the work. You've done so much work over these last few years. And especially now, we are in the age of Aquarius, so many shifts have happened. Last year, you were prepared for this year, for the age of Aquarius. Now we're in this new energy. I mean, so much has happened. So you've done your work. If you're here watching this, then you have done your work, whether you were consciously aware of it or not, but you have done your work. You have done a lot of work. Internally, externally, spiritually, emotionally, on all levels, you have done your work. And now it's really starting to pay off. Things are falling into place, making your life easier. And then the fifth and final thing that I want you to know is that there's also now a call or an invitation to take a break and to take a breath. Self-care is now very important with this full moon. You're really being invited to make self-care a high priority, where you just allow yourself just to take a break. Take a break. We are still in Mercury retrograde season, so things are slowed down anyways. And now with this full moon, in order to really integrate all that has happened, you're being invited to just take a break. Give yourself some time to just be in the moment. Allow the integration to take place. You've done enough. Up until this point, you've done enough. You've done so much since the lunar eclipse last month, and it only accelerated, and so much has been happening. You've done your work, and now it's really that invitation is just take a break. really just take some time out, whether it's a couple of days where you really just unplug from everything and just really make self-care a high priority during those times, or maybe if it's just a day or half a day, or maybe just a couple of hours here and there. But it's really, you're being invited to really take that break, to let it all settle, let it all sink in, let it all integrate, all the growth, all the transformation, all that you've experienced, all that has transpired. Let it integrate. And the best thing that you can do about it is to take some time out, to take a break. That is really the invitation right now with this full moon, whether you're doing it on the full moon, maybe take the day off, or, take half a day off, or just really take some time out to really go somewhere where you can be undisturbed. Now, I also will release a light language activation the morning of the full moon as well to assist you with all that. So definitely stay tuned for that. But take some time out on or around the full moon. That is going to be so very important. And even moving forward, it's important that we always take some time out, here and there to really let things integrate, because we are continuously growing and transforming and, evolving and ascending. And whenever we are going through a growth period, which we just went through with this whole eclipse gateway, it requires time to integrate. And this is really what is at offer here with this full moon. So now with this full moon, you're really being invited to just take a break, to really recharge, re-energize, kind of like the things that you're supposed to be doing during Mercury retrograde season anyways. But, most often we may not do that, but now with this full moon, there's really that invitation. Okay, so here are the key things that I want you to know about this full moon. Now, let me share with you how to make the most out of the energies here. Now, I already hinted on a couple of things, and I'm pretty sure you know what I'm about to say is take some time out. Take some time out on or around the full moon to really take that break, take that breather, right? Really recharge, re-energize yourself, do some self-care. That is going to be so important. And also open yourself up to let go of anything that no longer serves you, that is outdated, that is out of alignment, that no longer serves you. Let that go, because that also opens you up for then the newness to come in. Because whenever you're going through a period of immense growth, that then prepares you then for the newness to come into your life afterwards. And we are about to come out of Mercury retrograde season. So then things are starting to move forward again. Then we're moving into that forward moving energy again, right? Now it may be a little slow in the beginning, but you will feel that forward moving energy here very, very soon. So take some time out with this full moon to really let it all settle in. There's no need for you to constantly do. But now it's really that invitation to just allow yourself to just be. Be in the moment. Be in an allowing state. Allow the integration. Allow the transformation. Allow these things to unfold. This will then also assist you, because you're about to experience immense shifts in your life as life becomes easier. After the full moon, after Mercury goes direct again, you will notice that things are flowing with more ease. So by you taking that time out, by you taking that break and allowing the integration to unfold, you're opening yourself up, you're preparing yourself for those shifts to occur, that ease to flow into your life. And here's also an invitation to be open, to really prepare yourself and to be open for the ease to replace all the hard work, the challenges, the having to make things happen, all of that. Allow yourself to let go of all that squeezy feeling, that pushing, the grinding, and all of that. Let that be replaced by ease, by flow. So here are the key things that I want you to know about this full moon. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. Maybe leave me a comment below. Let me know. How are you feeling about this? How are you noticing these shifts happening already? I would love to know. Also, if you haven't done so already, definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get notified whenever I release new content. So thank you so much for being here. Now be sure to check out this video here. It's a video about how to set clear boundaries as an empath to protect your energy from any drains. I think you're going to love it. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.